Welcome back, everybody. We have a special episode for you today. So if you have been following along on our CHAD project, and if you haven't, go to our playlist, start from the beginning, don't start from this episode. But if you've been following along on our CHAD project, we have brought you across many, many months in the process of completely renovating the downstairs for a 1980s home. And today is one of our favorite parts of the process where we're going to reveal the foyer and the study room for you. So come on with me. I'm Seidl, the owner and principal designer of Lewis & Rose Interiors, a residential interior design firm located in booming Frisco, Texas. We are so excited to bring you everything from practical design tips and tricks to fun room reveals, to informative interviews, and of course, a whole lot of really beautiful designs. Like, subscribe, and then comment with your thoughts and questions. We love hearing from you and can't wait to share with you some truly fun and inspiring content. So welcome. All right, come on in. And I want to show you, it's the immediate wow moment when you walk in the front door. So before I walk through all the design elements in this foyer, let me take you back a minute. So this whole process has been almost a year since they have bought this house. They wanted to move closer to their kiddos' school. So they bought this 1980s home that was so full of charm. It's one of my favorite things about 1980s homes. They're not cookie cutter. And in all of these new homes, they're beautiful, but they're very boxy. So 1980s homes, this was a Tudor style. So we have all kinds of charm, all kinds of trim detail. So before you walked in these front doors, all the trim and all the molding was wood and beige and brass for days. So that's one of the most immediate things we knew we wanted to change. So let me walk you through what we've done in here. The biggest thing, and I always harp on this, the biggest thing to change, the easiest thing to change, and the biggest wow moment in here is just paint. So we kept all of the molding throughout because that was one of the most unique features. It's so charming, and yet it's also really grand. So we painted this white all the way through. If you go back to some other episodes where we talk about and walk through all the differences of hardwoods versus LVP versus engineered, and ultimately they ended up getting hardwoods and they are beautiful. So we got hardwoods throughout the entire first floor. We also completely changed all of the stairs, as you can remember in those construction videos, and all the things that they found with the squeaks of the stairs. So now they are just perfect. It's beautiful, it welcomes you in. And if you look up, we have this grand, massive chandelier, but it's a bit understated because we didn't want something to really steal the show from all of the molding in here. So the foyer was one of the most immediate things we knew we were going to tackle, and that didn't take a lot of the budget, mostly paint. So let me bring you into the first room that your eye touches when you walk in through this foyer.
Oh man, oh.
So this is the study, and we had so many conversations back and forth of what should we make this room? And ultimately we ended it up, we're calling it the study because that's exactly what it is. We have a massive built-in that I'll walk you through all the ins and outs. It might be one of my favorite built-ins of all time. And then we'll walk you through this living area. But ultimately, the goal in this room was to create a space that you could work in. Matt works in here every day. He's a filmmaker. He's behind the camera right now. So he works in here every day, but also a lounge space. We wanted it to be cozy, but that it was really specific for adult entertainment, where we can have friends over, have a drink, have good intimate conversation. So very different than more of a casual living room that's more of a family room. So right off the bat, we talk about the paint. We wanted to do something that was really dark and just had, honestly, a lot of drama. So aesthetically, we selected this dark black paint and paired it with this white oak wood. But we also selected this dark paint color for a really, really practical purpose. So Matt has, as you can see, tons of screens. And so it's just one of those really easy optical illusions to kind of really hide all of the screens. It's like, yes, it's a workspace. We're gonna have monitors here, but let's not make that be the feature. So they really kind of just die into the background. And then we'll eventually get another monitor up here, the same thing. It's just gonna kind of be there, but the built-in itself still has all of the beauty and all of the wow factor. Some of the practical things that we built into this piece is with all of the monitors, there's all kinds of equipment that comes with it and it gets really hot. And we wanted to hide those. So we created these pull-out mesh drawers that hide all of his equipment. We did this mesh front and this mesh side to help release the heat. So it's both really beautiful because of all of the texture, a little bit of metallic in there, but it's really created ultimately to be super practical as well. So one of the other things when we create a built-in, and actually this is really one of the first things that we do when we start creating a built-in specifically for an office, is we'll send our client a built-in function sheet. Because while they need to be beautiful, they need to be functional, or what's the point, especially for an office. So we like to put all kinds of hidden things in here. So in this one, we have a hidden pull-out printer that you can easily pull out, and we make sure that all of the dimensions match all of the pieces of equipment that our client has. So they don't have to go and buy all new things if they don't want to. These drawers are created to be pull-out file drawers. And then we created these, I love these little guys. These little square, really deep pull-out drawers that you can hide his cameras or any kind of bulky things that wouldn't necessarily make sense in some of these others. And then all along here, we wanted to make sure that we had a huge workspace, yes, for the monitors, but so he can just really sprawl out and be in the zone. This is probably the longest workspace we've ever created, but it just made sense for the purpose that this was going to be used for. Let me walk you through now the other side of the study, which is really the lounge space. So we anchored this side. It's very different than the walking path on the other side, but we anchored this side with just a really beautiful, neutral, transitional rug. Something that as their colors change over the seasons, it kind of goes with anything and it kind of transcends all style. So that's what really anchored this cozy space. But I want to draw your attention really first and foremost to this fireplace. So originally, if you remember back from the befores, this whole room was the beige, the brass, the golds. This was the original very square beige tile that you see in every 1980s house. We put this star and cross tiny mosaic on here, and it just breathed a whole new life into this fireplace. It made it look like we really redid this entire piece, but we didn't. All we did was reface it. And then anchoring it above, we wanted a TV in this space, but we didn't want that to be really where the eye goes when they come in here. So one of my favorite tricks, and we get asked, especially here in Texas, we get asked like, how big of a TV can I go? How many can I put in my house? So when they came out with the frame TV, it's like a designer's dream. It's an 85-inch, I believe, frame TV, which it functions as a TV, but just like we have up here, you can put any images you want so it looks like art when it's not being used. It's perfection in this space. Right in the middle of this space, we wanted to get this just massive coffee table. really neutral, really grand, because this room, as you can tell, is a huge living space. On this side, we put some swivel chairs, really great for conversation. These are leather, so we have different textures throughout telling the different color stories. So we have leather over here. We have this kind of teddy, also boucle fabric over here with the wood. We have blacks over here, and then we have them anchoring with, I love these side tables. It's just a little hint of hammered brass underneath with the wood on top. That's something that when people are trying to DIY, that's something I often notice that gets forgotten, is making sure that you're telling the texture and color story throughout a room. So having a little bit of green here, just a touch of green there, little nuance of kind of the cognac color over here with this right here. It just helps the eye really travel around the space. And then really the last thing that we did in here that I think makes it feel so cozy, and this is a hill I will die on, is putting drapes in a room. They don't have to be custom. They don't even have to be expensive. These are non-functioning drapes. They're just here to frame out the windows. So these are a velvet taupe all the way around the room, and it just gives it this very cozy, intimate vibe. All right, so that wraps up our reveal number 1 of our Chad project, which was the foyer and this grand yet really intimate study. So make sure that you stay tuned because we have more reveals coming up for you. So next episode, we are going to reveal the family room. Then we're going to reveal which I think it's my favorite part of the house. And I've never said this about a house, but the pantry. It's not just a pantry, it's a butler's pantry, and it is super special. So make sure that you stay tuned. Make sure you turn the notifications on. There's a little bell that'll help notify you when we have new episodes come out. If you haven't yet, make sure that you like and subscribe our videos, and we will see you next time.